every night on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Think about it. We'll get into everything that we're going to get into as we go along, but I got to rant real quick. But why would you throw out an inexperienced pitcher in a game you're still close in? And I don't care what the record is. You show up for a fucking rivalry game. But he's actually talking to him constantly. That is a sign of a really, really good coach.
It's the ToddFox postgame podcast with your host, ToddFox.
Because the only thing I want to yell is fuck! Hey, welcome into another episode of the Halos in the Infield postgame show with your host, ToddFox. That is me. Welcome in on a Saturday as the Angels get a win that is 2 in a row now. But it is far too little, far too late, as we will discuss as we look at the standings and everything else going on. But first, it's 714 Tickets, 714 Tickets. 714 Tickets is a place to get tickets to go to any sporting event, theater, whatever you want. You just put HITI in the promo code. You get 10% off of those ticket purchases. The price you see is the price you get, so it all works out. Everything is in line. Now, also go to Noble Brewing, get $1 off of pints. If you go game days, they have drink specials and really, really good barbecue. So with that being said, today's matchup, on paper looked pretty good. You had Carrasco, well, not looked pretty good. Carrasco for the Mets has been terrible, 6.80 ERA. He took the loss today, went to 3-8. And you had Chase Silseth, who literally has been pitching really good, of late. And helping the Angels get some wins, some modest wins here and there. Or even if they're not getting wins, they're by winning when he pitches. So it seems like, okay, they're doing a good job or he's doing a good job and he's trying to make a bid for next year's starting rotation, because whether or not Ohtani comes back, he's definitely now making himself a player to be that pitcher for next year, So he's been pitching pretty decent. So we're going to get into the summary of how they scored here. And scoring plays started with Brendan Drury singling on a line drive in the top of the first to make it 1-0 as Ohtani would score. Mickey Moniak would hit a home run in the second to make it 2-0. Then Renifo would come up on a sharp line drive to score Trey Cabbage, which Trey Cabbage was only playing because Sham Wow got the Hershey squirts, literally. Phil Nevin pointed out that he had food poisoning or some shit like that. Well, he had some shit, that's for sure, and he couldn't play. And boy, oh boy, with our training staff and the way we teach guys, the new revelations coming from C.J. Wilson, that makes a lot of sense. These guys, he probably had a bad Philly cheesesteak, or he probably had a bad pie from one of the pizza places out there in New York, and fuck it, it all messed up. Now, Ohtani would triple him in, Renifo, and get in there nice with his 8th triple of the year, believe it or not. He also had a couple stolen bases in this one to get up to 19. The Angels then got Brendan Drury on another double, as he's been one of our consistent guys. Had he not been hurt, had he not got off to a slow start, he would have some kick-ass numbers at this point. So with that right there, it's 5-0 Angels. Okay? 5-0 Angels. And Silseth, okay, I've said this many a times. I've said it many a times on here. Whenever the Angels face any kind of adversity, they stick their head in between their legs, up their ass, in their tortoise shell if they were to wear one. They disappear. They can't handle any adversity. None whatsoever. They'll be cruising and fine the first instance of adversity, and they creep away. They don't step up to the plate. They literally find a way to just fall apart. So with that being said, 5-0 Angels in total control. Big crowd on hand in New York. And what happens? Mets have 2 men on against Silseth. Okay? They get caught not knowing whether to do a double steal. 2 guys are like basically McNeil and the other dude are stuck in a rundown, basically. All Hoppy has to do, you would think at first I was like, why didn't he throw the third? Yeah, he kind of should have thrown a third. in a way, to prevent the runner, but he also had to kind of like back up Ohtani. The runner was already almost at second. So by him throwing it first, it wasn't exactly a bad idea, not what you'd want to do, but he was making a beeline back to first, and the runner at second decided not to really go. But when he threw to first, it wasn't the strongest throw, number one, by Ohtani, so the runner already took off and had a big lead to third. Then Cabbage decides again. Cabbage is not, well traversed at first base yet, and he just fires a freaking bullet back to third. And Silseth, it's partially his fault as well. It was a clusterfuck. It was literally, again, I'm going to use a saying I hate saying. Either the Angels are going to angel, or that was one of the most angel thing to happen. Silseth at that point, right, in a rundown like that, has got to get out of the path of the ball, out of the way of the path of the ball. He's got to make it over to third base. But Cabbage's angle, he was right in direct line of the ball, and the ball just struck him upside the head on the left side. And it was one of those, you're hit so hard. I've been hit like that before, and it takes a good 2 seconds before you feel it. And it took 2 seconds, and then all of a sudden he hit the floor. And that was very, very scary. And when he hit the ball, or when it hit his head and he went down 2 seconds later, I was like, oh shit, that doesn't look good. And hopefully he's okay. If you looked at his eyes when he got up, he was kind of like shaking, rattling his cage a little bit, and then his eyes looked a little bloodshot. That possibly could be a concussion, because when you see these line drives off of, pitchers' heads, we've seen multiple times of skull fractures, all kinds of things, man, really bad concussions. And I wouldn't doubt if he has a concussion, So it's another one of those things where guys find ways to hit the IL, even if we're hurting our own guys. Angels versus Angels, like you guys say in the comments. Here's another example. And you really can't blame Cabbage. You can't blame Ohtani. Even if he's in the path, maybe Cabbage has got to move, or Silseth. Who knows? It's just one of those things where you're like, damn, dude, that's just the most angel thing to happen. So he gets hit upside the head, and he has to depart. So my whole point before this was Angels face any adversity, and they disappear. At least the hitting for sure, right? And the first guy that comes out, because a run would score off the ricochet off of Silseth's poor head, that would make it 5-1. And then DJ Stewart would double in McNeil. It's 5-2. Vogelbeck would homer, but that's as close as the Mets got. You had to bring in Loop-de-Loop after that, who he surrendered 3 hits, but also had 3 strikeouts. And I liked what, not necessarily Leon was kind of fucking around out there, but I liked what Soriano did. Soriano and Estevez really closed the door at the end. But if you have to look at this game, look what happened when they faced any adversity. That stuff happens to Silseth. They don't do anything. They literally just put up zeros to the end of the game. Just fall apart, don't do shit. And have to once again, how many times have we seen this? A team says, okay, you know what? Our starter didn't have it. Let's go to the bullpen. They start to adjust and throw different looks at the Angels, and the Angels don't change anything. And they wonder why every inning after they put up a crooked number is basically shit. It's dog shit all the way through. It's fast at bats. They can't even put together a rally. They still out-hit the Mets, but they didn't do anything. And this is so many times the Angels just can't do shit on offense. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But somehow, some way they get the W. In relief, Loop gets his second win. He brings his sparkling ERA down to 5.63. Like I said, Carrasco takes the loss. He's 3-8 with a 6.80 ERA. Estevez brings up his 28th save, second in a row, 3.40 ERA, still pretty high. And let's get into our awards, and then I'll do the other here. I'll do the lineup, what they did tonight. Stamos Award first. John Stamos Award. I'm going to give it to someone that you guys weren't even thinking of, because the offense, I don't believe, deserves to get any kind of credit for this win. Yeah, you put up a crooked number, but you didn't do anything the rest of the game. You didn't chip at them. You didn't even put up a real chance. 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They left 7 men on base. But I'm going to give it to Soriano. Picking up his 13th hold. He has a nice ERA of 2.81 out of the pen. He's been a very nice surprise for the Angels. And he pitched to 2 innings tonight, only allowed 1 hit, had 2 strikeouts. And you could say Estevez too, but I'm going to go with Soriano. I'm going to give it to him. That was a nice hold for him. I don't really give it to relief pitchers, but I think he deserved it tonight. And, looking down the list, I think there was, not anybody that really jumped out at you as somebody that pretty much had it or didn't have it. The Mets, again, are the Angels of the East. They went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position, left 8 men on base. Let's talk about who got the nacho night.
All the chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole, all the beef and jalapeno and the sour cream, all the nachos.
The Nacho Night Award presented by Paul Sereno. I'd have to give it to Carrasco. DJ Carrasco, 1 2/3 pitched, 5 earned runs, 7 hits allowed, a 1 strikeout, and 1 home run. Again, his ERA balloons to 6.80. That's for sure. He's definitely got the nachos tonight, Carrasco. Let's now talk about that offense. Let's talk about the Angels' offense real quick. And when we talk about the Angels' offense and I go through their box score, we have to give them their proper music, which is the Angels' offense started with Renifo back in the leadoff spot. Who would have thought he would go 2 for 5 and getting an RBI and a run scored? Dumbass Phil Nevin has never gotten the memo. Stop fucking with it if it works. If it works, don't fix it. He always does that. Ohtani went 2 for 3 tonight, 2 runs scored, 2 walks as well, so he was on base 4 times and 2 stolen bases. Brandon Drury went 2 for 5 tonight, 2 RBIs, but still managed to strike out twice. Moustakas went 0 for 4 and 2 strikeouts, so Hoppy went fabulously 0 for 4, but he got a hit if you count the one on Silseth. I know that's too soon. Moniak went 1 for 4, that home run, and still managed to strike out. Renfro's like, I'm dog shit, went 1 for 3, but did get a walk. Trey Cabbage got a hit. That was nice to see, but again, his strikeouts continue. He had 2 more. Squiddy Poo still manages to get into the game somehow, some way. Surprise, surprise, he went 0 for 1. And Great Chick again, without his parents in the stands, can't manage a hit. He is absolutely god-awful right now, 0 for 4. Remember, guys, this guy's had quite a few at-bats this year. When he came to the Angels, he had a 320 average. He's now at 263. He's lost a third of his batting average. That is the Angels' offense. Enjoy? I sure as hell didn't. It's the Angels of the West versus the Angels of the East. And somehow in these first 2 games,
wow, winning.
We've won twice. But it feels like a dirty win. It feels like you got to take a shower after this win. It really does. Let's see. AC checks in with Angels making the playoffs. Woohoo! 15-game winning streak. Here we come. Dre Money says, winning.
Wow, winning.
Now that's a winning streak. Cue up Lou Brown. Light that baby up. That would be where is that one? Shit.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
No, I should have had it right here. Here we go.
All right, you guys, let's listen up. We won a game yesterday. And if we win one today, that's 2 in a row.
We did.
We win one tomorrow, that's called a winning streak.
Exactly. AC wants to know, hey, Batleys, did they hit a home run tonight? Did Shohei hit one? Nope, but they were disappointed. They really wanted a home run tonight. Stukas over Disneyland, sing along, everybody. Drunk Artie can take it. Played a streak soundbite. I sure did. Yay, the Angels won today. How does Squid touch the MLB field? That is a question we keep asking. Jim Hoyt says, hi, Todd. Go Pack Go. And I say no Pack no because it's preseason and it doesn't count. All I care about preseason is, can they stay healthy? Marty says, nice to see Ohtani show that a true catcher does step up in when Alonso got hit. I do not miss Statue Stassi. Yeah, you know what? Where the hell is he? We never knew because he wasn't here all year. AC says, balls, and winning.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and
Wow, winning.
There you go. Another useless at bat by Squid, that's for sure. Ohtani triple with a torn UCL, amazing. Well, yeah, you don't need the thing is, people thought, oh my God, his season's over. Now, if he were to play an outfield position, a first base position, whatever, yeah, most likely is because he'd have to throw the ball. But in the motion of swinging a bat, your UCL is really not prominent because all it is a throwing motion. So he can actually, he's played through it before. Remember he was a DH before when he had the whole situation with the first Tommy John. Eric checks in with, hey folks, when did Cabbage get called back up? I think he was not a couple days ago anyway. Cabbage is a 4A all-star just like Odell. I hope not, dude, because he's putting up some massive numbers again, and he'd be another Brandon Wood. If I was Cabbage, I would have fired the ball back at Squid's head, Marty says. Dan says, Todd, I've been watching baseball since the 1970s. I've never seen a play like that. Ohtani messed up, Cabbage messed up, and Silseth messed up. They were all out of place, weren't they, Dan? All out of place. Silseth should have went to the left of the bag. Exactly, Jason. I was trying to get away from putting the blame on people, but when you guys put it that way, you guys are absolutely right. Everybody was at fault right there. Eric says, Jim Hoyt, as a Seahawks fan, congratulations on your W today. Nate Hustle says, I feel Soriano don't get enough credit, man. He does it. He does it, and he's one of those guys which we're going to see next year be very valuable if the Angels are to be anywhere in contention. Moniac homers. Yeah, but they don't give him that much love, Anna. Also, Alonso acted like a wimp after Soriano hit him. Yes, it was at the base of the skull, but it was unintentional, and the Mets broadcast, it was way too biased towards Alonso. Of course, I mean, again, they're going to back up their guy. And, I mean, it's not like the Mets and the Angels have such a huge rivalry. And, look, we hit our own guy. They didn't hit us. Let's see. He should have just taken it and went to first base. Exactly. Send Brendan to Drury Lane, Mateo says. There's an Ohtani double. Q Bally's. Yeah. Ohtani went to third. I swear. I mean, they're all over that dude. Also, Stamos Award. What the hell? What in the hell? Looking at the name Roger Lodge. Damn. When will they help Moniac adjust to the high away fastballs? It's not only that, AC. If it's not the high fastballs that he's whiffing at, continuously, check out. I mean, have you seen how they just like throw him slider after slider down and away or down and in, and he cannot lay off those, dude. Again, no one is getting off their ass and actually trying to help this poor kid. Also, Anna says, did you know Ohtani tore his UCL Q Bally's? Do you know that Babe Ruth hasn't had it, Tommy John, and Shohei Ohtani has two? They cannot get off his jock. And it's so funny, too. Even with that Trout jersey, I was thinking to myself, couldn't they come up with another player to represent the Angels and Ducks? Why does it always have to be Trout? Can't we just get somebody else? Can we say Ohtani? I mean, back in the day, I think it was last year or the year before, they had a Fletcher thing. Come on, man. We have other guys on this fucking team already, dude. I'm tired of that. Today's champion at dodgeball is Trey Cabbage. Oh, it's messed up, Marty. Balls, and Roger Lodge shutting up. I don't think he'll ever shut up. That's the problem, even if his contract is done.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and
If you're a so-called Angel fan, if you're a Halo honk for life like me, then shut up.
Also, Pac-Man for Squid. Yeah, dude, Squid's got to go. I'm so sick and tired of him. Light that baby up, 2 wins in a row. Let's go, Angels. Angels grandma says. Trotter here says, as soon as Terry Smith and Mark Langston mentioned that Silseth is pitching a no-hitter in the 4th inning, gives up 2 hits and gets hit in the head. Shut the fuck up, idiots. They mentioned that, Trotter here, in the 4th inning? Okay, look. You know, guys, I have much love and respect for Terry Smith, and you know I have love and respect for Mark Langston. Those guys have been keeping it real, mostly Langston all year. Langston's got to know, as a professional pitcher that pitched decades, literally in the 2 decades in the majors, and is one of your more old school cats on this entire organization, he should not be mentioning the no-no at all. I mean, that's a big no-no to mention the no-no. R. Martinez says, if a UCL not involved in hitting, then what's been Trout's excuse in getting a hit? Because he's got to work on that golf course. I saw multiple things of Trout just beaming. He looks happier on the goddamn golf course than with Tiger Woods than he did in those pictures with Ohtani or any of those pictures taking for the new City Connects. Like, I swear to God, it's not fair. It is not. We're not supposed to have anything or enjoy anything good as Angel fans. I guess not. Somewhere, somehow, someone broke a mirror that has like 10 years of bad luck. Because, I mean, I think that's what's happened. Let's see. Mateo says, my backup quarterback won the starting quarterback role. The starting quarterback is upset at me because he lost his starting job. Well, now you gotta make sure he's the right job or he's the right quarterback, because if not, your players are gonna revolt. David said New York Mets would have won back-to-back World Series championships in 1999 and 2000, but the Stankies were involved. I just want to say, Anna says, you guys don't have me involved in the comments or don't say anything about me. I get hurt easily. Okay. Prayers for Chase Sill, Seth Angel's grandma says. Also, balls, and Marcus Thames. That's about all he's worth, is just a bag of balls.
I was pretty cocky. I want balls and John Stamos
and Marcus Thames. To all our football fans, one thing I've learned about offense coordinator is that the playbook is not about X's and O's. It's about the Jimmies and Joes. Okay. James Malou says balls, and we're going streaking. Uh-oh.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody!
Trotter here says, yes, they mentioned it and pissed me off. That is so stupid. Dan Rio says balls, and horns up.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Roger Lodge, and we've got a big show coming your way because...
No, we don't.
I was pretty cocky. I want balls and John Stamos.
Kroom's car says Trout is ready to fly. Eagles fly. That's true. Number 6, building a NASCAR stadium. That's the next thing that's happening. I bet you he's watching that NASCAR stuff right now like my girl is. She's watching the NASCAR race. There was like a huge-ass wreck. That's why I was a little late coming out here. Renifo's OPS has surpassed last year, although a lot of fans hating. Still got to tip your head to him because he is at his healthiest. And what I'm going to say to that comment, you would see even better numbers, but it's clear his best position in this lineup is leadoff, and they just refuse to keep him there. I mean, he'll put together 3 or 4 nice games. You know, even when he's like 1 for 4, he'll work another walk, or he'll do a sacrifice or something. He does something productive every time at leadoff. And then Nevin decides, let's bat him 4th. Let's bet him 7th. Why? I don't care if it's a lefty pitching. I don't care if it's a righty. If you've got a guy up there doing his thing, leave him alone. Like, literally leave him alone. I mean, that was the whole thing with Trout and Ohtani. Who's better at 2? Who's better at 3? If one's on a streak, leave them alone. Just leave them alone. I don't understand the constant tinkering with a goddamn lineup. Let's see. Cabbage failed to shout out 4 when he the ball. Ay, Marty. Alfonso Soriano has not won any World Series championships with the Yankees. Okay, David. Mateo says, Todd, I have 4 quarterbacks to work with. Well, you better make sure that court. I'm telling you, as a football player, when I played in high school, we had a similar situation, but with 2 quarterbacks. And I was the emergency quarterback. And I played safety as well. So once I was put at 3rd, I was like, fuck this. I'm going safety all the time. And I went safety. And then those 2 guys battled it out. One was a option quarterback, and the other one was a pocket passer. And the coach went with a wishbone offense and the option quarterback. And if you know the option, if you don't have a strong offensive line, good running backs, and a fast-ass quarterback that can take a hit, well, it's not going to work. And we had a couple guys who were pretty damn fast as receivers who in a wishbone offense, poof, disappear. So they were arguing first, and then when we started not scoring, the defense, such as myself, would start talking shit too. And by the time they put the quarterback in, that now we have to learn, they have to learn a whole new playbook. The offensive line has been used like for 4 games blocking a certain way. Now they have to freaking block to pass protect. Yeah, things didn't go good with us that season. We only won 1 game. So you got to make the right decision, and you're either all in or not in at all. So I hope everything works out for you, Mateo. That's a tough decision. Let's see. Hey, Bally's, Ohtani is injured. Well, first off, we do this. I'm not really. And then we go to this. Balls, and to the head. Oh, jeez.
Hi again, everybody.
I pressed the wrong one again.
I was pretty cocky.
I want balls and
balls to the head. Oh, jeez. Todd, what about the report on Ohtani that his agent refused an MRI months ago? Okay. Were you guys watching the game? It's so funny how they went down to, was it Erica Weston or the other chick? And I can't keep up with these new sideline reporters. Anyway, so they went down there and she was mumbling something about, just to clarify, I talked to Perry, and Perry said, wait, what did Perry say? Oh, cue cards. Perry said that Ohtani's people, we both knew the situation, and it was a collective joint venture not to get the MRI. Back to you, Gilby. Ha ha. And then right away, Wayne was like, "Hey, hold on. Let's. How about a word from Jack in the Box?
Build your own munchie meal, or try mine. Only at Jack in the Box.
That looks good on you, Miach.
And you know what that was, though? That was them saying literally, "Hey, you know what? Those tweets that are coming out and social media is blowing up about it. Let's try to nip this in the butt. Let's just try to make it like it was an agreed thing." I think the original comment that came out about his people and him, because it only makes sense. They skipped a couple starts ago. He had arm fatigue, remember, in a game where he only pitched like 5 innings. They were saying similar shit like that. And his velocity's been up and down over about a month or so, where he's not relying on the fastball. He's relying on the sweeper and splitters and stuff like that. There's something to that. So I think this is the way for the Angels to clean up, so that way clean up the mess. That way that when it comes down to it again, they're still thinking that they have a shot at re-signing him. So they don't want to say or do anything that's going to piss him off in any way. So that's what I think. It's sort of like clean up an aisle 3 type thing. Mateo says, hey, when does the season start?
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
My backup QB is actually balling out, makes big-time throws when he needs them. Okay, well then put your hat on him and ride with it. That's it, man. That's all you can do. Will Seth first spoke with Cabbage. He said, "You son of a bitch." He did, dude, because he did look at him and oof. Because, I mean, you think about it, he crowned him. Cabbage crowned him.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
He did. He freaking crowned him right away, and that had to hurt. That just had to hurt, man. I've never, luckily, I've never been hit in the head with a baseball, but I have to imagine that shit hurts. I mean, I came close, but I've never, because probably after he was hit, the trainers are trying to get like, what is, what he was saying, and the trainer was like,
"Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?"
Because, man, he got hit hard, dude. Wow. Let's see. Also, Todd, can you have Roger ask James about the highlights about UCLA basketball? Hey, James, can you get to the UCLA basketball? I got to know, too, if Bronny James is going to be playing for USC. I've got to know. Balls, and MRI testing. Oh, gee.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and
MRI testing. Balls were flying around today more than Artie's balls at a swingers party. Cabbage thought it was a water balloon fight. Can we find a loophole with Rendon? At this point, number 6, no. I think right now number 6 is going to be riding with us. Although, here's the thing. And like I said yesterday, that other podcast that was trying to promote themselves on this page, that was hilarious because they're trying to make a big deal that, we said number 6 should be gone yesterday. Victor Rojas said this. It's like, again, we've been saying this all year. You have been saying this all year. Dude's just trying to get clout with Angels fans. I mean, this is literally the only podcast that when even Rendon had 1 home run, 20 RBIs, and was batting .263 and was in and out of the lineup due to load management, we wanted him gone then. Now everybody's like, I wanted him gone if he can go now. No. This podcast, you the fans, we're saying the same shit. So that's why we have a rift in this Angels fan base. Because the realists like us will tell it like it is. And then when it comes down to it, the Halo honks, when they can't honk their honks anymore and they're looking for scapegoats, then they start to point the finger. But for the majority of the season, it's all about the season starting tonight, 29 games left, you're out 12 games, you still got a chance. It's like, no, dude. And you know what's funny, too? Someone tweeted at me that Roger Lodge for the last 8 years, it's going to go on 9, every time they get eliminated, he plays the song Wake Me Up When September Ends. To me, that's not fitting of an Angels season coming to an end. Wake me up when September ends. It's like, okay, so you're basically just saying, simulate the season, wake me up, September ends, it's over, whatever. But you still got to talk about them in the offseason. It's still October. You still got the playoffs. You still got all that other stuff. That's why that song doesn't make any sense. Like playing the Titanic one, actually calling it or coming up with a song that's like a finale, like hey, man, it's over, get over it, stuff like that. That would make more sense. But we are talking about the genius that is Roger Lodge, which I use genius very sparingly with that guy. Let's see. Also, I thought the turn down the MRI thing was a finger MRI. Was it about his elbow? Well, apparently it was about his elbow. Let's see. Also, Cabbage DFA now. I don't know about that, Dylan. Concussion could be. We have to clean up in aisle 6. Patrick says balls, and big ones in my mouth.
I was pretty cocky.
I want balls and
big ones in Patrick's mouth. Oops, we speak no Bruno. Forgot exactly. Dylan, huh? No, not Cabbage's fault. Let's see. Patty O'Neill still talking more balls tonight than Sil said. Taking more balls than Sil said. My bad. Okay, DFAO Hoppy. No. Balls, and Ohtani.
I was pretty cocky.
I want balls and
Ohtani. Here's a serious question. Should we re-sign Moose? Absolutely. I would take him, and we were talking about our pod that some other pod copied. Literally, they said our podcast word for word. I guarantee you Victor heard our podcast and was just like, write it down and say it. I would get him, and then I would also bring back Broken Pelvis. God, what is his freaking name? He was one of our best hitters, too. He was the only guy that could hit with scoring position, runners in scoring position. You bring him back because you have to have backup and a backup plan to idiot over there, number 6. Not Logan's fault either. It's not. It was just one of those freak things. Dylan says, "Are you all upright? Are you all upright? LOL." But for real, Logan needed to not throw to first, guys. Yeah, he didn't need to throw to first, but once he threw to first, it was just a fuck up all around. All 3 were at fault. I agree right there. Patrick says there are the true Anaheim fans and the fans there are, and there also are the honks. That's true. Does Ohtani steal 30 bases this season, Todd? I think he goes for it now. I mean, 11 stolen bases with 30 to go. Yeah, he's going to get it. Logan should have run at them. He could have ran out towards the pitcher mound and then decided where to throw. Mick says, can they trade number 6 for basically free like the Angels eat most of his contract? Look, until the end of the season, I think they still owe him 105. So very tough for a team to eat that. But however, he is insured. So, but he doesn't get that insurance. Artie doesn't get that insurance money unless he gets a catastrophic injury. And he's already been cleared to play by the doctors. However, he was on his own time, and then I guess when he went back to the doctors, either he convinced him or the Angels organization is like, you know what, we're tired of your shit, 60-day IL, you're done for the year. So that's what I believed happened. Let's see. Eric likes that song like Roger, so shut up. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure playing with you tonight. Exactly. Urshela. Thank you, Mateo. Gio should be the guy that's signed back along with Moose. I think Moose and Urshela next year, I think combined platooning over there at third base and possibly first base, depending on what happens with ShamWow and a couple other players. But let's just say number 6 is not in the equation. I'm perfectly fine. Let's just say number 6 doesn't play. I think we'll all be happy. But what if you had Moose play versus righties and Urshela versus lefties, or give them days off to sub for other players to get their at-bats? I think you could see something between the two. You could see a full season of both those guys. They would add up into one good player because you'd probably get about 15 or 17 home runs from Moose, and then you'd probably get about 10 from Urshela, so that's 27 right there. And you'd probably get about 50, 55 RBIs from Urshela, and you'd get about the same from Moose, like 45, 50. And he might be higher the way he drives in runs because he does have a bit of clutchness in him, and both of them do really. So together they could put together something like an average of 270, 280 with about 27 homers and little over 100 RBIs. I'd take that in a heartbeat because you don't even get a quarter of one of those players' production from number 6. So anything you get at third base, even what Moose has given you this year with the absence of number 6 and Urshela, has been far better than whatever number 6 can give you because he can't give you nothing. He just doesn't want to see the field. And here's my hot take on 6. I think 6 had it in his mind this year to prove the Angels fans wrong. And he really, really tried hard in the spring training part. And he even tried hard in April. And once Nevin started just buying into that whole, I got to give this dude a rest, and then he was starting to hear the flack from the fans, I think something in 6 was like, you know what, fuck the fans. And so when he got the hint of an injury, he just kept going down. And you could tell with those Sam Blum questions on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and they kept asking him these poignant questions because Sam Blum is evidently the only media member that actually asks questions that are relevant to the Angels, and he's actually a true reporter. And he went out there and he was asking him questions, just trying to get into the head of 6 and be like, hey, man, when are you going to see the field again? How are you feeling? He's saying cryptic stuff like, I'm not even here. I'm a ghost. I don't exist. I mean, dude, if he's not joking around, if those aren't jokes, can we like take him to a psych ward? And look, I'm not in the game for making Artie money, but I would gladly pick up the tab on how much gas it would take to pick him up from whatever hotel he's staying in when he's here in Anaheim, take him to a psych ward to get evaluated. And that way, if he's clinically insane, I would be able to make Artie some money because then that's one of probably the stipulations in that contract to get that fully insured contract sent back to him. And then Artie better cut me a little bit of that green because he'll make all that money back. Because if that's an act, that's a pretty good act that he's putting on. I've just never seen a player give up. And you know, if this guy's in Philly, if this guy's in New York, hell, Washington, Chicago, or even that's what's so pathetic about our media. If he's playing with the Dodgers and he's doing this, You realize the shit this guy would get? You realize how much it would be on the news? It'd be on FS1. It'd be on ESPN. Well, no, ESPN doesn't cover sports anymore. But it would be on all those other channels, MLB Network, everything, right? He's over here in lowly Anaheim. It's just like, oh, that's a bad contract. Can we not attack this guy for what he is? I'm seriously. Outside of Sam Blum, nobody breaks down number 6. Everyone's like, oh, that's just a bad contract. You know, it's a terrible contract. Let's make a YouTube video about how bad contract it is. That's the extent. He should be getting grilled on a nightly basis by our local media. Oh, we can't do that either because we have that our own media where it's got to be happy times all the time. Like, I'm surprised AM 830 doesn't start their day with, like, the Teletubbies baby smiling. But it's really like Artie's face smiling, and he's like slobbering all over the place and happy because he's like trying to push the narrative. Like, today's going to be another happy day no matter what. The season starts tonight. That's how I picture it. Or maybe it's, you know, Roger's ugly face up there. Who knows? Let's see. Also, let's check in. And let's see. After getting getting hit in the head, Selseth is now talking Sil Sloth from the Goonies paper. Dude, you're fucked up, Trouty here. You sure are. Patrick says the best thing to do with a new owner and then just wipe the slate clean. Fire everybody except Benji Gill and unload all the players except Moose and anyone under the age of 25 with a fresh start. That's all perfect. That's all well and good, but you know if it makes sense, Patrick, they're not going to do it. And I get you, Eric, on that one. Isn't number 6 LaBaby James? Well, not this year, R. Martinez. Usually it's LaFlop, LaBaby, LaChoke, but he's going back to 23. Ooh, Jordan wannabe again. He'll never be Jordan in my book. I would say with all his stats, he's probably number 5 in my book. I'd have to, for a stat pattern, just a quick NBA take, it's Jordan, it's Kobe. I would have to say Wilt or Kareem, 3-4, and then go with LeBron because he pads all his stats. That's it. Because championship-wise, he's around 10. Fuck him. You know, you can't be the greatest 4 and 6. Actually, 3 and 6. That bubble one, just like the Dodgers, doesn't count. R. Martinez, the other one. Also, IE Native says Gio Urshela should be re-signed and Nevin should get off of Squid's nuts. Oh, yeah, he's all over his nuts. Can you still donate to the backpacks? Yes, you can. Try to hear. Let's see. It's pinned on the Instagram thing. If I could pull it up right now, maybe I'll just post it right now. If you guys want to do that, because yeah, we're getting closer. We only got like a week and a half left, and we're trying to reach our goal, and we got half of them. So we're hoping that you guys can help out and cover the rest. We've done our thing with that too. So let me pop this in here real quick. Give me a second. I should have did this in the beginning, and that's my bad right here. So I apologize. And of course, it's not typing up. Come on, there we go. Nope, still acting stupid. The Ghost of ToddFox. This shit is just incredible. Okay. The Venmo is the real, oh God, the real FM 25. And then let's see. Also, PayPal right here is his. Hold on, dude. This is awesome, isn't it? I'm sorry. Apologize. See what you did? Try to hear. No, it's actually a good cause. I dropped the damn ball on this one. This is my bad. Let's see. Here we go. Boom. Okay, those are the two right there. Let's see. Also, LaChina James. I forgot about that one. Drury is actually having a good year. He is. Martin says playoffs. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be talking about playoffs all because.
How dare you?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me?
The best offseason transaction will be when I see Squid in release. Yeah, he should not be on a major league roster at all. Even minor leagues. That fool sucks. Infield for next season, Moustakas at third, Neto at short, Urshela at second, Drury at first. I'd take that, but you gotta keep in mind Sham Wow's going to be there too. This guy ain't going nowhere. Sports News says 2 in a row. We're going to the playoffs, baby. Hey, see, is your profile picture trunk. That's awesome. When 6 answers like that, did Cabbage nail him in the back of the head as well? Those answers are just nuts. He should. R. Martinez says, true ghost of Rendon occupies your studio. I think so. Send the fuckhead Rendon my way. We'll take care of him. The chair says number 6 is just being a smartass and chilling back. Yeah, because he's making $38 million. The chair. I think we would all do that. Artie still has unfinished business. Yeah, in the toilet.
Emotional damage.
Also, Kroomskar says number 6 will be making appearances in Haunted Mansion in October. Yeah, he'll be at the what's it called? The what is it? The Halloween store, the Spirit of Halloween. LA Angels, where LA stands for lowly Anaheim. Thanks, Artie. Somehow Silseth is still more coherent than Biden. Well, that's for sure. Better point guard, Magic or Curry? Obviously different eras, but if I have to compare them, I would have to say it would be overall Curry because of the points he puts up. But then again, you can't. Curry's only doing this because you can't hand check. So I retract that. I'm going with Magic. He played all 5 positions. That dude was something else, man. He just couldn't shoot a 3. But back in the day, remember, you didn't have to shoot a 3. By the time the end of his career was coming around, the 3-pointer was just becoming prevalent. So yeah, I think Magic was a better player. LA Angels, see where LA stands for Lodge and Artie. Trotter here says they should restructure number 6 contract into the clause that must play a X amount of games to get paid. If you don't, you get nothing. Good day, sir. Unfortunately, when you make a contract, it is what it is, and it can't be restructured like football. Football, you can do that, and then baseball, you can't, unfortunately. The chair says Curry isn't a point guard, in my opinion. Yeah, he's more just a glorified shooter. Hey, James, he's the best point guard in the history of basketball, statistically wise. But you put him in any era, Mateo, and I guarantee you, just look, if you want to see some highlights, look at what Reggie Miller had to go through as a shooting guard to get open to hit threes. Compare the and just you just can't. He had to fight off everybody. That's why when I think about it right now, Curry could never play in those eras ever because it's too soft. It's too damn soft. I'm thinking of taking Cabbage to a local fair where you throw balls at the bottles and knock them down and win a beer. Imagine if that dude could get all the stuffed animals that guy could win. Exactly. That dude would get your woman or man, whatever, any kind of stuffed animal they wanted. Sterling says, anyone going to mention Soriano hitting the back of oh yeah, we mentioned that earlier, but that was a total mistake by him. That wasn't an intentional thing. Patrick says, sell the team. By the way, sell the team shirts are coming available, I believe, Monday. Cabbage went straight for the cabbage. Oh, he did. I like what you did there, Hayes. Haunted Mansion holiday. Kroomskar says Angels need seasoned experts, baseball guys, and competent trainers. Baseball guys who are drafting, scouting, developing, and coaching. Bain was a baseball guy who drafted Trout, and then they fired him. Exactly, and that was more of Artie's cutbacks. Just imagine where this team would be if we had hired Bochy. Probably where Texas is. Silseth last season walking down Catella Avenue wondering how the hell he got there. Also, Silseth is now cabbage patched. I like that. Let's go, Brandon Drury. How many years do you give Moose and Gio? I think 2-year deals. 6 watches NASCAR on those iPads. Yep. Is Roger riding his bike down Catella with John Stamos? Probably. He's probably choking on him if I ask him, right? Right, Raj?
John Stamos
choked on me.
There you go. 714 tickets. 714 tickets. Also, batting average isn't everything. I understand. Mariners legit hit a grand slam off of Carlos Estevez, swept the Halos, gained all the momentum in the world, and now they're tied for first place. What the actual fuck, ToddFox? Yeah, that is crazy. Because we'll look at that right now, the standings right now. I mean, who knew? Seattle has come out of nowhere. And as of right now, it's Seattle 73 and 56. This was a team that was 5-6 games under around the All-Star break. They're now plus 100 in scoring. Houston is 1 game back of them. They hold percentage points because of their straight head-to-head with Texas, so they're in first place. over the Rangers, who finally won today. They still got Minnesota in the rubber game tomorrow. Mariners got KC again, who they blasted today. And Houston plays Detroit again at Detroit. I'm not even factoring us in there, but 3 teams within one game. And that's freaking cool. Good on the Mariners for coming back. And then right now, the teams that are alive in the playoffs, obviously Baltimore, 3 games up on resurgent Tampa Bay, who's playing a lot better now, despite all the crap they've gone through. Toronto's sort of like in the mix, playing 500 baseball, but they're a game and a half up in the wild card, I believe. Oh no, actually, if I look at the wild card, I'll check the wild card in a second. But they're in third place right there. Then you got the shit fucks of Ohio. They're out of it, so good on them. I'm tired of them. I hate the shit fucks. Minnesota 6 games up right there. And then National League, Atlanta's got the best record. They're 13.5 up on Philly, but don't sleep on Philly. Philly's finally finding their mojo. Miami fell apart. They were in the thick of things. They're not looking good right now. Chicago Cubs are still alive. Cincinnati struggled a bit. They've lost 2 since playing the Angels. They should have just kept playing the Angels. They've been struggling a bit. Milwaukee's starting to kick it into high gear at the right time. Dodgers are on just easy street because of their fucking division. Wild card looks like this. Baltimore, obviously, division leader. Seattle's division leader, but they're both a game up in the wild cards because of where they're at. Tampa Bay is +6 in the wild card as well. Houston is only a game out. Or no, they got the last spot. I'm sorry. Houston's got the last spot. Toronto's a game and a half out. Boston's 3.5 out. We're not mentioning us because we don't matter. Atlanta, Dodgers, and Milwaukee are division leaders. Right now in the wild card, it's Philly, Arizona, and Chicago Cubs, who are a game and a half up on Cincinnati, 2 games up on woke San Francisco, and Miami's falling out at 3.5, and San Diego doesn't matter and all down the line. So there he is right there with that right there. Don says, Todd, what up, big bro? How you doing, my man, Don? John Stamos gets the nachos tonight. Let's see. Also, Todd is honking his honk. He said the Mets would win today. I did, so that's my bad. 2 of the most anticlimactic wins versus the Mets, exactly. By the way, what's the pitching matchup tomorrow? Let me get that real quick before, if you guys want to call in as well, we could do that. Let's see. Pitching matchup tomorrow would be, it's supposed to be Griffin Canning, but we'll see, versus Peterson for the Mets. David Peterson, but he did pitch on Monday. We'll see if he goes tomorrow. They've been juggling their rotation this year. But he's slated to pitch, and so far this year he's 3-7 in 77 innings. He has 91 hits allowed. He's got 38 walks, only 83 strikeouts, and he's got an ERA of 5.59. So pretty good chance we can get the sweep if we get a decent performance from Canning tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, at this point, it really doesn't matter. Twinkies are in first. Lodge and Stamos riding tandem bikes with no seats. Exactly. They're sitting on the bar. Reds versus Arizona has been a great series going down the wire now into extras. Angels facing a guy with a 4.2 ERA this month. Also, dude, Baltimore is balling out. I give major props to Brandon Hyde with what he's done with that team. Exactly. Canning versus Peterson. I don't know. It's on Peacock. That'll be an 8:30 start tomorrow in the morning. Bet you $100 Silseth wishes ShamWow didn't have a stomach bug today. Exactly. Finally, after 2 years, Sleepy Joe honors 13 service members who lost their lives in an airport bombing in Afghanistan. Yeah, that guy's always on time. See, do you have the last 4 numbers of Fernando's number for verification? Asking to verify on Venmo. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me get that. Because I'm not giving out his number per se, so I think that'll be fine. It's 4919. So 4919. There you go. If you guys want to call in, 714-598-3221. We'll take a couple phone calls before we get out of here. Denzer Guzman, 50 stolen bags with the 66ers. We could use speed like that up here. I mean, we really could. But then we could use coaches that actually do their job as well. So, what did I say it was? Shit. I should know his number too, but I'll put it right here for verification. Boom. There it is. It's the Halo Honk line.
What's going on, Todd?
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Y'all won again tonight, huh?
Yeah, it's meaningless baseball, so you know we win when that happens.
Yep.
But you guys look good. I saw my boy Richard Sherman throw out the first pitch the other day. You guys looking good, man.
Yeah. Now all you got to do is win tomorrow, and that's called a winning streak. So
that's true. You guys are playing. I mean, look. Last year, you guys traded a closer at the deadline, and a couple other players. You did almost the same thing last year, and you guys had that fight with us, and you took off. And then this year, you guys get that dramatic grand slam. You sweep the series. You trade a couple bullpen people, and you DFA a dude, and you take off again. I mean, I don't know what it is. Maybe those were like just bad people in the freaking what do you call it, clubhouse? I don't know, but whatever DePoto's doing, it's working, right?
Oh, it's definitely working, and it's very surprising that it's working as well as it is. But it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations, because I think this will either way. If you win a division or not, I think you guys are gonna at least make the playoffs. Wild card or division, and you'll be back there for the second time. I mean, look, you guys had over 20 years of not making it. So the fact that you're going to go back to back, do you, as a Mariners fan, I got to ask you this, Eric, do you think the Mariners offered DePoto an extension?
I mean, earlier this year I would have said no, but I think now looking back at it, I think they're going to offer him an extension because he continued to do miraculous things.
Yeah.
And
I counted you guys out, man. I did not see this coming.
I tell you, earlier when we were like 5 or 6 games under, I mean, I was having fun. I wanted to believe in all that, but I'm like, for us to pull this off, we need something big to happen, and I not get happening. And again, just like last year, caught me off guard. Here we come.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, look, you guys even fixed your record. I'm looking at your record right now. You're 36-28 at home. You're 37-28 on the road, and you're 32-33 against teams with winning records. Now, you have the same record as Texas versus teams with a winning record. They have 32-33. Houston's 32-38. So it's not like sparkling records, but you know what I mean? Like you guys have, like when I looked at your stats before, you guys were under 500 at home, under 500 away. And you didn't have that good record against 500 teams. I mean, you guys have turned it around.
I tell you, I think I was reading a stat at a major league this year versus Houston. I think I read the more like 8-2 or something ridiculous like that.
Wow.
Yeah, if that's accurate, that says a lot about this team if we're really 8-2 against those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're beating the champions, then you're in a good spot. So that's pretty good, man. So, it's funny because I have a friend that lives up there, and he bought season tickets just because he hadn't bought season tickets in years since Ichiro, and he's like, oh man, I'm so pumped for this year. And about halfway through the season, he's like, man, I shouldn't have bought. It was only a one-hit wonder. And then I hit him up the other day. I'm like, hey, you going to games? He's like, yeah, I'm here at the game already. I'm like, So see, you got to have more faith in your team. He's all, shut up, man. You didn't see this coming either. So he's happy.
I tell you, it can't happen.
Yep. I think that's how it would be with the Angels fans. If we got back to the playoffs, the following year, I think a lot of Angel fans would be skeptical. I don't think they'd buy season tickets because they'd be like, "Can they do it again?" You know what I mean? So.
And I gotta say, over this year, like when things were going good, I thought that you all might have had a chance of being probable, and that's getting number 17 to stay in LA. Like stay in your LA, not go to the other LA or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But now the things going bad again. I don't know if y'all can do that.
Man, I don't know. And then you throw in this whole Tommy John thing. If he gets the surgery, the longer he waits, the longer it's going to be before he pitches again. So he should just get it over with. And if he does do it, man, his chances for re-signing here are going to be pretty good. So we'll see. We'll definitely see.
I think, I feel like that's probably the best thing for him. I mean, if he has to have Tommy John, probably the best scenario for him is to go back to you guys because you guys know about his medical stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody else knows about the medical stuff, but you guys know exactly about that.
That's very true. I mean, we give him the most leeway. I think he needs to look into that, We baby the shit out of him. We let him do whatever he wants. I don't think if he goes to another team, they're pretty much going to be like, look, we're paying you all this money. We understand you supposedly know your body, but we're going to be in charge of that, not you. And I think he won't. I think he won't like that. So we'll see.
I tell you, and maybe it's good old number 6.
And what were you saying about 6?
When's he coming back? Is he coming back?
He's not coming back. They put him on the 60-day IL.
Oh man.
Yep. So they literally said, hey, you know what? We can't use you right now. Might as well just put you on the 60-day IL. So.
Cool.
Yep. All right, Eric. Well, I'll hit you up. Actually, I won't be on tomorrow because tomorrow's game's going to be way too early. I won't get back in time. So you have yourself a good Sunday, and I'll probably talk to you on Monday then.
Yeah, all right, bud.
What's that?
Oh, all right, bud.
All right, bud. Take care, man.
Okay.
All right, that's Eric right there if you guys want to call in. Yeah, tomorrow's game was going to be way too early, so either Dominique or James will take the post game. So there you go. It's a Halo Honk line.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Oh, man, I tried calling in to the Roger Lodge show twice, and they put me on hold the whole show. I got so pissed off. I thought they had, no viewers.
Dude, that's the thing. I know for a fact because they used to publish the ratings for radio. They don't do that no more. So I know his numbers have been dwindling, because there's so many honks that are just not invested no more. And I know the honks only call when they win. So when you're trying to get a hold of them, they weren't really winning and you want to give your 2 cents. It's hilarious how they'll be like, we got full phone calls. And they don't. You're just sitting on hold the whole time.
Yeah. I was like, call in right now at the phone number I'm going to give you. And I waited for an hour. I was like, actually, never mind. I was like, fuck you, dude. Come on. I swear.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, so they were like, and Roger Lodge, it was torture. Like, it was like, oh, I want my dating life, guys. I was like, no one gives a shit about your dating life. And Trent Rush was like, oh yeah, dating wasn't like it used to be. I thought this was also a fucking Angels talk show, not a fucking dating show.
Bro, they do what we call filler, where you heard, I don't know, when they get to the top of the hour, they're like, which is like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, they'll be like, he'll play all these sound bites. You know how like I do the Stamos Award and he'll kind of play that little video for like 20 seconds? He'll do a filler one that's like 2 minutes long, just saying all these sound bites about the top 5 plays or stories you're going to be telling your buddies. And then he just takes the longest time telling each story about Ohtani or whatever, or recapping. He's the shittiest radio host. And then you heard Trent Rush how he talks. He's like, hey, Roger.
Bro, I swear, all they were talking about, Shohei Ohtani injured, Shohei Ohtani. I was like, oh yeah, also Mike Trout, but Shohei Ohtani. Like, what? My God. How about can we talk about someone else and you get it, okay? You got to play the Perry message like 10 times in a row. Like, you get it. Also, why the fucking Roger Lutz put fucking so there was like top 5 news thing, right? Like you mentioned.
Yeah.
He put Shohei Ohtani news over the Donald Trump indictment. Like, what? How does that make sense?
I don't know. I mean, to me, the Trump thing shouldn't even been on there because it's not sports. But he's still, throwing that in there. So it's like, that's why, like, I can only take so much of him, And I just wanted to hear what they were gonna do when the news came down about Trout and Ohtani, and so I was like, okay, I'll let that. I'll sit there and I'll let that happen. I'll listen to it, but I can only take like 30, 40 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay, I got to bounce. These guys are tools, dude.
Yes, I'm going to call, because Trent Rush was in a way, I'm going to call him Monday, and I'm going to do what I got to do. I think I have to use my real name. Not my real name, but I'll use a generic name, like Jim from Anaheim, because I don't think he'll pick up from a car name or something.
Yeah, I think as September rolls on, I'm gonna troll him. I'm gonna start calling him and I'm gonna record it and play it for you guys because I'm gonna get in there with different numbers and stuff, because I know after a while if you call them with the same number and you're like freaking like negative, they'll block you, dude. They will block you.
I know. Well, just Google Voice for a reason. You can just change numbers.
Exactly. There's that, and there's Skype, so he can't stop everything.
Yeah. And the people who call in, I can't believe what they're thinking. So there's a question of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roger Lot's question of the day. Hey, so the question of the day is, if you're a Perry, after all the things you know, would you rather do A, what Perrys have done this year, or B, sell everything but everything up? Which one will you do? It's a very hard question, and I can't believe people who called in and said A. I was like, what the fuck are you guys thinking?
Yeah.
Like, it's B, obviously. Ohtani most likely needs Tommy John. Trout's injured. Everyone's fucking injured. Yeah, you need to sell the team. If Ohtani wasn't injured, then maybe it's a little bit more controversial, but it has to be B. But some dude's like, hey, because, well, we're Hawks for life, right? I was like, and Roger Ross was like, heck yeah, man, I agree. I was like, fucking wrong with you, dude?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He doesn't stop with that, dude. Like, it's always honkism. It's always like, he's like, oh, this team's only a piece or two away. It's like, no, it's not, dude. Like, there's so much work that needs to be done. And he's always like, well, we heard from Phil Nevin, and Nevin's out there trying his hardest. And again, like when he broke it down with Trent Rush the other day, I don't know if he heard it, but like they were like basically saying, oh, well, they were saying how bad Anderson's been. They were putting up the stats, but then all they said was, well, we just got to do better. How are they going to do better if nothing's changing? Like, you got to call out the coaches and be like, the coaches got to change their approaches for the players to change theirs. You know what I mean? Like, give examples of how you're going to fix something. Because obviously it's far beyond broken, dude. This season's gone. It's trashed.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to call them because they're blaming the team on pitching. Like, oh my god, man, we're losing because of pitching. Haven't you seen Sandoval? It's like I was gonna call them and say, you know what? Offenses, we're like 20th in average. We're only hitting 250. And runners in scoring position, we're only hitting like 230. But the pitching, it's the most important fact. But look, if you throw a shutout, if you throw a one-run ball game, and if you don't score, we lose. Like, it doesn't matter if you have pitching. We just need good offense, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean they're 28th in the league and with runners in scoring position. That's all you need to know. And look what they did tonight.
Yeah.
Same crap. I mean, yeah, you put up a nice second inning. You scored 5 runs. As soon as the Mets adjusted to what you were doing, you did shit the rest of the game. You didn't do anything, nothing. So
yeah.
I mean, that's a problem.
Yeah. Watch this. Once I call him saying shitty on the coaching and the Phil Nevin, he's gonna probably hang up on me. He's like, actually, and it's like, sorry about that, guys. Let's move on to the next Halo honk.
Well, you know what he'll do? Like, you can tell the screener, I have 3 questions to ask the guys, right? And if you ask the first question and then he answers it and then you come back with an answer or your rebuttal to his answer and he doesn't like it, he'll then talk over you and be like, well, Supra, I don't know. I think Phil Nevin and Marcus Thames have done an excellent job. And then you'll hear on your phone, and they just hang up on you. That's what he won't tell you bye or nothing like that. He'll just hang up on you, dude.
Bro, I'll call him asking, what do you think the main problem of the Angels is? And you probably say, oh, the problem the pitching, and that's about it because the pitching matters. Since 2021, we had the pitching, our fucking coaches suck.
Yep.
You know why? AAA. Look at AAA and look at AAA. Bring up the coaches there. I've seen Fletcher hitting 380 or something in AAA, and people fixing their swings there and the pitches there. I mean, Detmers is Detmers. I know he hasn't been good, but
yeah, there's always that problem down there. I mean, the coaching is much better down there. That's for sure.
Yeah. One more thing. So I see a pattern. All what Matt Weiss wants is strikeouts, and all Marcus Thames wants is home runs, like fucking Germany Reed and fucking what's it again? What's that guy's name?
Oh, Paul Sereno.
The guy. Why is it called Nacho Night? Is it abbreviated not your night or something? Or
yeah, pretty much.
Night?
It's a play on words, like Nacho Night. It's Nacho Night tonight. You know, that's basically all it is.
Yeah. Also, one thing I was suggesting, if you want to move a Sereno, you should do Squid. Much better.
Yeah, it's either because I'm trying to decide for next year. Because since Sereno's up and out of he's not on TV anymore. I was thinking either going with Squid if he's still for some ungodly reason with us next year, or I'm gonna go with Artie as presenting the nachos. I don't know, one of the two.
I think Squid because he's still, if he even leaves, he's still an angel forever.
Or maybe
in our memories. That's for sure.
Or maybe it's number 6. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, and one more thing. I think I was gonna say. Yeah, and Phil Nevin's oh, let's change lineups every fucking day. It's not gonna work. Sure, you can swap Shanuel with Rengifo. Yeah, they're both good at leadoff. But why do they change the lineup every 10 fucking games? It makes no sense at all.
Well, you have to have. I mean, I've always been a believer. If you have a 5 or 6 guys, core guys that are always going to play their part in the lineup, you leave them alone. If they're good where they're at, you leave them alone, and then you play it by gut. Who needs to get a rest? Who the other players? Who you're going to give a few games to see what they're doing? Because there's always that one position where you got to try a guy. Someone got hurt. You bring someone up from the minors, or you sign a new player. You trade for a new player. Stuff like that, I get it, but the winning Angels clubs, whether it was the Guerrero years, whether it was the Socia years early on with Tim Salmon, they always had consistent lineups. I mean, you knew where Orlando Cabrera was going to hit. You knew where Vladdy was going to hit. You knew where Juan Rivera was going to hit. You knew where all those players were going to hit, and you never had to be why is Erstad batting 9th? He never would bat ninth, But I bet you with Phil, Tim Salmon would be leading off.
Yep. And this is just two more things before I go. One thing is what we call the Texas collapsing. They're tied.
Yep. They're right there. They're about ready to fall apart.
Yep. I said 14 games losing streak, and I'll get the same old spot. They got 8. Close enough.
Yeah, that was
but they're collapsing. We called it. We called it multiple times. They didn't believe us. Now we were right.
Well,
and the second, yeah,
no,
go ahead, please. Okay, so the second thing is I watched some old Angel clips, and I'm gonna say this: they feel like a different team, like a different vibe. They hit, they're different.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
just different.
Very different.
And like the playoffs, I never seen that in my life. So.
Well, hopefully we can get that in the next 5 years.
Earthstat, Percival, K-Rod, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
A different team. But hey, man, I'll call in Monday. I'll record it. Not Monday, but like the Roger Lodge show, if he even answers me. Like, my 16 viewers enjoys this. I was like, if you only have 16 viewers, can you answer my fucking phone call?
Yeah, they only have 10 lines, and you were on there first. You're probably like one of 3 guys on, and he made you guys listen to the whole show. So, all right, Super. You have a good Sunday, and I'll talk to you Monday, my man.
All right, I'll send you the call. All right, you have a good day, man. See you later.
Later.
Bye-bye.
All right, Super right there. A few more comments here. Let's see. Bach in Arizona Reds game lead, or I guess Arizona leads 8-7. Alfonso says the only guy worse than Roger Lodge is a guy in 710 that used to be a Jim Rohn clone. Can't stand that guy. He is the biggest homer. What is his name? That guy hates the Angels, loves. Oh, Travis something. Clay. Is it Clay Travis? I'm not sure if it was Clay. No, it's not Clay Travis, is it? Or no, Clay Travis came from somewhere else, didn't he? Or I'm not sure if he's a clone, but I do remember it was a Travis guy, and I know he started with the Angels, and then he went to the Dodgers station, and he professed his love for the Dodgers over there and said, I never really was an Angels fan. He was a dick. Dude, I remember that guy. You are right. Rush will always mention if a pitcher wasn't on and gives up 2 runs and the Angels lose by 1 run and they don't say anything about the offense. Yes, Marty, exactly. Personally, I like Ohtani and I want him to be in the Angels lineup. It'd be great if they can get him for $250 as a 2-way player as an incentive contract for later. I would like that too. Alfonso says chicks dig the home run. They do as well. The Mets broadcast man and I thought their play-by-play guy was good, so biased because of the All-Star with Alonso got hit with a curveball. Boo-hoo, walk to first base, man. You're more of a wimp than number 6. I agree. Oh, Travis Rogers. There it is. So it was one of those trades. I don't like him either, Alfonso. What a dick. Because that was the thing. A lot of people that don't know their history of AM 830, because I used to listen to it a lot. I'll admit, I was a honk at one point, a long time ago. And I remember when Travis got the job, he was an up-and-coming dude. And like you said, he came from the Jim Rome show. He had a lot of fire coming in with him. He was supposed to be edgy. And they gave him a short stint here on AM 830. And he was a Dodger fan first. And so I know he hated his time here. And he would talk shit, but in a condescending way. And then when he went full-on Fox Sports Radio and got his own show and was on the Dodgers network, then he turned the tables on the Angels. But I thought that was kind of fucked up because the Angels gave him a chance. Although they should have did their homework in what a big asshole he is, but they didn't do that, of course, because doing their homework or scouting reports is apparently illegal to the Angels, or they break out in hives when they have to do any kind of work. Let's see, Reds won. Okay, the Reds broke that 2-game losing streak, so that helps them out in their playoff situation right there. Anna checks in with Alonso's got emotional damage. He certainly does.
Emotional damage.
How dare you?
That's what he said right when he got plunked, right away.
How dare you?
And then the pitcher was like, Yep, exactly. Eddie Perez says it makes all the sense now why Ohtani was taken off the trade line 5 days before the deadline. Perry knew he wouldn't pass a physical. That is a rumor, Eddie, that a lot of people are saying. That is possibly behind it. Like the Angels knew more. And it wouldn't surprise me. Angels have done a lot of, what do you call it? A lot of shady shit. And it comes back to bite them usually. Just like this season, man. This season is just full of... And I want the Angels to be good again, just like you guys do too. But it's apparent. The writing's on the wall. We're just playing out the string again because the season turned to... So it's just now... playing out the rest of the string, seeing who's going to be playing, and hopefully nobody gets hurt anymore the rest of the season. Although, if the players aren't getting hurt on their own and they're not getting hurt by other players, we're hurting our own guys. Case in point tonight. See, was it emotional damage? What is that? I can't read it because the stupid little icons are right here. Yeah, there's some icons right there. Bakalu or Bukalu? I don't know what that means. Are we still do we still have a chance if the season starts tomorrow? If the season does start tomorrow, we still have a mathematical chance. That's all I'm going to say.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Yes. So with that being said, I think we'll cut it short here for tonight, or at least,
Oh, good for you.
Well, some of us have things to do on a Saturday night, so I'm going to get rolling, and hopefully you guys can enjoy the rest of your night. The Angels did win, so there's something to be positive about. Let's see. Onage pranks. Bukula. I have no idea what that is. Maybe I'm behind the times on that, but I have no idea what that is. Sorry, Alfonso. So anyway, we will cut it tonight. I'll be back on Monday. James will have the post game tomorrow, so tune in for that for sure. And yes, Big 20's probably busy at work tonight. Love their prank calls. Their prank call people. Okay, got it. So you guys have a good rest of your night, and we'll play some Stukas because the Angels did win, and I think that deserves a little bit of one of the best songs I've heard from Dan. Good night, everybody.